So, are you gonna kiss the groom?
He's nervous. He has just answered twice.
But it was 2 no's.
So, does that makes a yes? Ah!
Of course it makes a yes.
Kiss him! Kiss him!
Catastrophe. Absolute catastrophe. It cannot be thought. A more nightmarish scenario, but it happened. It went up like crazy and fell straight dead in the middle of the altar. Everybody thought it was a joke. It clearly wasn't. But how could you ever think he clouded out and happily die right there in that very moment? But it could have been worse. They could have gone into a long and happy life to end up again dead. Oh, Maisie, what a tragedy.
The sky was a canvas of black, as if it had been painted by a madman with a brush made of despair. The stars had vanished, replaced by a sickly yellow moon that hung in the air like a festering wound. The wind was howling like a pack of wolves, and the rain was pouring down in sheets, as if the clouds were bleeding uncontrollably. The streets were empty, the buildings deserted, and the only sound was the rumble of thunder, like the voice of some angry god.
As Maisie stumbled through the dark, surreal landscape, she felt like she was trapped in a nightmare. The world around her seemed to be twisted, distorted, and somehow not quite real. The trees looked like they were made of blackened bones, and the ground was covered in a layer of slimy mud that squelched beneath her feet. Suddenly, she saw a figure looming out of the darkness, and she froze in terror. It was Central's embodiment itself, but it was different somehow. His eyes were glowing like red-hot coals, and his skin was as pale as death. He reached out a hand towards her, and she felt a surge of fear grip her heart.
1 second.
She felt like it was all pouring out of the glass for just 1 second. After that, it all melted into Central's hive mind. Streams of numbers happened to watch through the peephole of her brains, and every loon in the world was hanging in her mind. You know, the he thing said, there's no way out of here, don't you? The forest, the jungle, the park, or even the gloomy desert, the starry sky, the slip of tongues, they are filled with senseless repetitions of the same. But you already knew that, didn't you?
You've known forever now. Behold, tomorrow's waving goodbye to the God side, and the never-ending, never-told nerves of the old sun will not but to blur yourself in on.
The trumpeters, the charioteers, the ancient chorus of the sank-down voices, it all was raining at that exact time.
Johnny John, can you spare me some change? I need to make a phone call.
He took the needle out of his arm and started sobbing and started trembling and felt the passion of being a geist. After all, he said, nothing is going to change our perceptual apparatuses, but that of which our own extensions cannot yet comprehend. And because of that, John, it's not time for that. I truly need to make a phone call. Because of that, we pretend to deny agency into the nightmare that is called to be a living being, decaying without congestion, or even trafficking without any due respect to moral or normative agency. Let the bones ring the tone, and feel the so tender rain washing every single tear out of the rotten Araucaria that its arms tends as a sacrifice to the one true thing that is. Can you stop this nonsense and give me a quarter?
There was only a sense of admirable confusion. A new gradient was founded, a new strata of castrated beings, Not even being able to refuse anxiety's needles back from the graveyard, and to kept away the feeling of immense distress that happened to be walking in a human form. The cables chirped. It all went black. A deep sense of satisfaction was achieved. Finally, the world, that great wound, has ended. The phone rang.
He's not dead. Hello, said Maisie.
He's not truly dead, but you already knew this, didn't you?
The crusted leaves surrounded her feet as she ran away from a completely psyched-out Jonatty John, whose tender lips begot a last phrase. Once again, E-F-E-C-T.
Etc., it said.
This is not going to ever end, but you already knew that, didn't you? Archimedes left a laughter floating down the alley where the corridors met. When she found it, she got frozen. It is nice to be finally home, she mumbled.
The bullet came right from the graveyard. Nobody saw a single thing.